So, in a huge budget speech recently, a new term got everyone talking, the orange economy. What on earth does that mean? And more importantly, why is the government suddenly putting a massive spotlight on it? Well, let's get into it.
Right? This single sentence from the finance minister was a big deal. It was a signal of a major shift, shining a light on this huge, vibrant part of India's economy. So the question is, what exactly is the orange economy?
Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the announcement that kicked this whole conversation off. Then, we'll decode what this orange economy thing is all about. After that, we'll dive into India's specific plan, get our heads around the sheer scale of this $30 billion industry, and finally, take a look at what the future could hold.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. How did this phrase just pop into the headlines out of nowhere?
You see, by using the term orange economy in her speech, the finance minister was doing way more than just introducing some new jargon. She was basically sending up a flare, signaling a major focus on India's creative and cultural industries. They're now being treated as a core part of our economic strategy. It was a real statement of intent.
Which, of course, brings us to the main event. What in the world is the orange economy? So this term was actually coined way back in 2013 by Colombia's former president Iván Duque Márquez and Felipe Buitrago. At its heart, it's pretty simple. It's the business of creativity. We're talking about turning ideas into cultural products where the real value isn't the physical material, but the intellectual property behind it.
And you might be wondering, why orange? Well, it's actually for a simple and pretty powerful reason. In so many cultures, the color orange just screams creativity, identity, and culture. So it's a perfect fit for an economy that's literally built on our imagination.
And let me tell you, the sheer size of this thing is kind of mind-boggling. It covers everything from Bollywood and the video games we're all addicted to, all the way to fashion, music, theater, and even our beautiful traditional crafts. It is a massive, diverse universe of creativity.
Now, to put this all into perspective, the orange economy is just one member of a whole family of colored economic terms. I'm sure you've heard of the green economy, right? The one for sustainability. But there's also a white economy for healthcare, a blue one for the oceans, and a silver one for the aging population. Each color just helps us zero in on a specific part of the economy.
Okay, so we know what it is. Now let's talk about what India is actually planning to do about it. The government has laid out a super clear three-part strategy. The whole plan really boils down to three main goals: giving a huge boost to the high-tech AVGC sector, nurturing design education to fill a major skills gap, and breathing new life into our amazing heritage to create some unforgettable cultural experiences. First on the list is AVGC. That stands for animation, visual effects, gaming, and comics. This whole area is just exploding, and they think it's going to need 2 million professionals by 2030. That's a huge number. So to get there, the government's setting up creator labs in thousands of schools and colleges to build that talent pipeline right from the start.
Second, we have design. It's kind of crazy, but even with our booming industries, we actually have a shortage of Indian designers. The fix? A brand new National Institute of Design specifically to pump up design education and development in the eastern part of the country.
And third, our heritage. The plan here is to take 15 major archaeological sites, think places like Lothal and Sarnath, and transform them into these immersive cultural hotspots. They'll use modern tech and storytelling to make history come alive, which should be amazing for both cultural pride and local tourism.
So yeah, the plan is definitely ambitious. But just how big is this industry we're talking about? Let's run the numbers.
Get this. The headline number is a whopping $30 billion. That's the current value of India's creative industry. I mean, let's be clear, this is not a niche market. This is a massive economic engine, and it has so much room to grow.
And the impact on actual people is just as huge. The creative sector gives jobs to nearly 8% of India's entire working population. We're talking millions of people. Artists, technicians, festival organizers, tour guides, you name it.
And this growth isn't just happening at home. On the world stage, our creative exports shot up by 20% in just 1 year, bringing in over $11 billion. That tells you there's a serious global appetite for made-in-India creativity.
If we dig a little deeper, you can see who the big players are. Gaming is absolutely crushing it, leading the pack with revenues of 232 billion rupees. But animation, VFX, and the live entertainment sector are right there behind it,
And live entertainment has this amazing ripple effect on the tourism industry too.
Okay, so with a solid plan and some seriously impressive numbers, what does the future look like? Let's talk about the potential and the challenges that are still in the way.
As cultural entrepreneur Sanjoy Roy points out, the real golden opportunity here is in exporting creative services and using India's smart power, our culture, and our influence abroad. Just think about something like the Jaipur Literature Festival. In just 5 days, an event like that can pump over 100 crore rupees into the local economy. That's the potential we're talking about.
But of course, there are always hurdles. Bureaucracy, red tape, getting all the right permissions. It's been a long-standing challenge for organizers. According to Roy, creating a single-window clearance system is the absolute game-changer. It's the key to unlocking this industry's full potential by just making it easier to get things done.
Which really brings us to the final critical question. We have a $30 billion foundation, a clear government roadmap, and a world that's hungry for what we create. All the pieces are on the board. So can creativity become India's next great export to the world? The stage is definitely set.